I just played it the way Liszt would have played it if he'd altered Bach's version.
Call Me by Your Name.
Terrific movie.
Dunkirk.
Hated it.
Movie critic Rex Reed has some opinions about this year's Best Picture Oscar nominees.
Good to see another brother around here.
Get Out.
Truly one of the worst movies I've ever seen. A complete fraud, that picture. I didn't care if all the black men in it turned into robots.
For the record, there are no robots in Get Out.
Do you have the papers?
Not yet.
The Post.
The Post is my favorite movie of the year. I think it's a great movie. You have all of these kids making movies today, but they can't compare to a real pro like Spielberg.
Are you going to watch the Oscars?
Oh, I always do.
Yeah.
I love to watch the Oscars with a club sandwich in bed.
While fondly remembering the A-list Oscar parties of yesteryear, thrown by his friend, the actress Polly Bergen.
And everybody was there. One year I watched the Oscars in Polly's bed with Lucille Ball on one side and Paul Newman on the other.
Reed was sandwiched between those two stars because there was a time when he was an A-lister himself. And in the late 1960s and 70s, his barbed opinions made him a fixture on television.
That's why I got called back again and again.
Yeah.
Because people weren't saying anything. We're right back in that place right now. Nobody has an opinion.
But his true love was always the movies.
I grew up watching movies because I was studying them. I was losing myself in these movies.
His father was a supervisor on oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico, so Reed went to 13 different schools around the South before high school.
You were constantly having to make new friends.
Constantly. And when they're sitting there and the teacher is saying, this is little Rex Reed, he's the new student, we all want to be nice to him, and they would take out their slingshots and finger their slingshots, waiting for recess. No, that doesn't exactly feed security.
Reed got a degree in journalism from Louisiana State University and dreamed of a life in the big city.
I wanted to go somewhere where people knew things and they served drinks with umbrellas in them, like I saw in Jane Powell movies.
So he headed to New York, where he made a name for himself, profiling some very big names. Warren Beatty, playwright Tennessee Williams, and a much-lauded portrait of faded screen siren Ava Gardner.
After it came out, she was quoted as saying, "That son of a bitch knows more about me than I do."
In Rex Reed's life, the past is always present. There's Natalie Wood.
I really loved Natalie and stayed with her many times.
I'm just wondering, do you think Robert Wagner killed her?
No, there's no truth to that whatsoever.
And there's Angela Lansbury.
We've been everywhere together.
Here's Liza Minnelli.
We've been through a lot together.
Reed was enough of a celebrity himself to be cast in a few movies, including a notorious 1970 sex comedy starring Raquel Welch.
How well I remember my own puppy love.
No.
If I were really doing my job, I would have watched Myra Breckenridge before this interview. But
no, you're doing yourself a great favor by supporting your IQ.
By not watching
Myra Breckenridge.
His own review of the experience?
Oh, it was horrible.
And a flop. But it did pay for this 1780 house in Litchfield County, Connecticut.
And this is the road where Marilyn Monroe every day took her walks in hot pants.
Not far down the road lived artist Alexander Calder, who painted this bathtub for the former owner of Reed's home.
It's heaven, earth, and hell. That's heaven, and then the mountains are earth on the planet, and that's hell, and it's a serpent wearing red sunglasses.
Have you ever taken a bath in
Never.
here?
Oh, I'm afraid of damaging it. It's priceless.
How much is this bathtub worth?
Well, I was offered $1 million for it.
Reed lives here and in New York's famed Dakota Apartments solo.
I don't have a wife, I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have a girlfriend. I'm not comfortable with all the things that go with it.
Like?
Well, like telling somebody where you are all the time. I don't want anybody to ask me, where were you last night? I tried to reach you by phone and you didn't answer.
The 79-year-old's opinions are now published online in The Observer, formerly the New York Observer newspaper, where some of his criticism has come in for plenty of, well, criticism.
Oh, I don't apologize for anything.
Not even his blistering review of Best Picture nominee The Shape of Water, which confused director Guillermo del Toro with actor Benicio del Toro, got his country of origin wrong.
She deaf?
Mute, sir. She can hear you.
And you referred to Sally Hawkins' character, who's mute, as mentally handicapped.
I thought she was mentally handicapped. I still think her character was mentally handicapped. She wasn't cooking with 4 burners when she was crawling through the toilets.
Of course, today everyone's a critic, quite literally in the age of social media.
How long are you going to keep doing this?
Well, I say it's over almost always. I don't want to be discovered dead in a dark screening room and have the headlines read, film critic Rex Reed found dead in Star Wars 80.
But while Rex Reed's still got life in him, he's got lots of opinions.
He was drunk all the time. She was terrible and sold millions of records. He was incredibly difficult. She's a dreadful actress. I should really learn to speak up.
Yeah, you really got to come out of your shell.